All right, Disco Dad 85, the jig is up. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Australia, the land down under, potentially making online anonymity illegal. Not only will it be illegal if you say something crazy online, if you want to be trolling, doing something weird. Now, the extent of the trolling is not really known, but if you want to be a troll and do a thing that could be considered an offense, you might get brought up on charges. You might go to the penitentiary, big rocks, little rocks. Maybe you'll be held criminally liable for what you say on the internet. You're not going to be able to have any kind of anonymity. How are they going to do this? Why are they going to do this specifically? Let's roll the clip and we'll be able to figure out why. We'll see some more context about what's happening here. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what they said there. Then I give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep detail analysis, and then I wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
A radical plan to crack down on social media abuse is being considered by the federal government. For more, Nine's Oliver Haig joins us live in Adelaide. Ollie, how will it work?
Layla, good morning. Essentially, it will work the same as a passport. Australians forced to submit 100 points of identification like their driver's licence or passport when using social media accounts like Facebook and Twitter. Now, police would have access to those social media accounts, and it's all part of a crackdown on online abuse. Now, users could be liable for defamation suits or even criminal prosecution, and it's all part of a plan hoping to deter people from engaging in bad behaviour. Now, the recommendations were handed down by a federal parliamentary inquiry. They're reforms that are being considered by the Morrison government, with the chairman saying there is merit to remove the veil of being anonymous. Layla?
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, this is really crazy. What is Australia at this point? Are they a Chinese satellite state? Are they what's going on here? Are they a Chinese colony? They're being colonized without the actual people coming to the country and taking it over directly. You understand? Like, prime example, when you had the natives here in the U.S., before it was the U.S., they just had their own little thing going on, their own little federations. Then here comes the Kingdom of Great Britain and other places, and they just take physical land, live there, bring their people. Now you got a colony. But in Australia, it's not like that. They're being colonized intellectually and through policy, in my humble opinion. Let's talk about it. So you're going to have your online profiles, like let's say, for example, your Facebook page, that'll be linked to your passport. So whatever you say, whatever you do, all your activity is going to be seen by the federales. So if there's some unusual activity, you might get a door knock. Mr. Logan, we see you doing something that shouldn't be doing. You on a certain page and you got some kind of abnormal activity. Now, although your activity is not necessarily illegal, the activity you're doing makes us believe you may be doing a thing that could be illegal that we can't see, or that you might do a thing illegal in the future. Have you ever seen Minority Report? I think it was Tom Cruise or somebody in that movie. If you've not seen it, some younger guys out there, please watch it, because that movie is kind of what's going on right here, in my humble opinion. The excuse is, well, we got to root out child predators and terrorism. And I have no problem with that. However, there's a process to go through to be able to take someone's social media data and anything they do online and look at it from the point of view of the police and everything else. To see your private data and have that get shown to the federales, there must be a process over here in the States. You got to get a warrant. You got to get a judge to sign off on it. Okay, we have evidence that this guy may be involved in X, Y, and Z. Here's our investigation. Here's the documentation. Can we get a warrant? The judge must sign off on it, yay or nay. Just like the whole Breonna Taylor kerfuffle, there was a warrant. There was an investigation. there's documents, pictures, evidence that says there's probably some dope running going on in here. There's probably some guns that shouldn't be in this place, in that place. Let's go ahead and serve the warrant. Australia says, nah, you don't need a warrant no more. All you got to do is go to this tribunal, and the tribunal does not need to go through a judge. So if the tribunal says, well, we think that you should be able to access the information, you can do it. And it's always going to be linked to your passport, to your ID. So it's you. Now, I don't know what's going to happen if you decide to open a social media account in Australia without the passport. Not sure how it's going to work. I would presume that there would be a different version of the website in Australia that's not available in the US, or a different way to access it. So for prime example, in the US, you want to sign up to Twitter, Facebook, or whatever. You go to a certain page, put in your email, your username that you want to have, and that's pretty much it. There's other steps in the process, obviously, but you don't have to go through this whole thing of sending your ID or your passport or your home address or things of that nature. That's not necessary to sign up for a Twitter account or a Facebook account. But in Australia, there may be a different thing because it can detect where you are. Okay, you're in Australia. Well, you got to go to that page over there to sign up for it. And yeah, I'm going to need a photocopy of your ID. I'm going to need your passport. I'm going to need X, Y, and Z documentation from you before you're able to get this account. So everything is linked together. So they're going to spy on you through your social media. Like over here, there's spying going on, but they don't really tell you. They, if somebody is a target of an investigation, they can spy on you even if you're not the target. It's like Tucker Carlson. Remember the whole situation where he was trying to get an interview with Vladimir Putin, and he had some contacts, some Russian contacts in the US, and he was emailing them about the interview. So apparently the State Department or whoever were investigating these guys, and they were reading their emails, and Tucker's name came up in the email. Oh, we're not looking at Tucker specifically, but we're still able to spy on him through a third party, through a proxy. That's how it's done over here. But in Australia, we're going to spy on you directly. This is part of the social credit system as well. When in China, when you do certain things that are unfavorable to the government or unfavorable to the public, you get points taken off of your score, like a credit score, but for social interaction. Now, I would presume things you do online contribute to that as well. Either it can contribute to your social score or take away from it. And they can spy on you all the time. So this is not a good thing at all, not in the least bit. But again, I feel like China has taken over Australia, New Zealand as well to a certain extent, but definitely Australia, because the measures they're taking, the things they're doing, the civil liberties that are being eroded away, they do the same thing in China. You don't really have many options in these communist dictatorships. You would think you would have some options in a place like Australia, New Zealand, etc., Oceania, some of these first world countries. But that's becoming less and less of the case every single day. And I think people kind of take their freedom and their life for granted. They're living out there. They're around the ocean front. They can go to the beach and hang out, ride a kangaroo or whatever they do out there, and have a good life. Here's a beer for you, mate. Do all that stuff. But then in the background, they're losing their rights. Oh, you want to get on Twitter? Where's your passport at? You want to get on TikTok? Okay, I'm going to need your passport. And here's a question. Like, how are they going to do TikTok? Because that's a straight Chinese company, period. They may have an Australia team or US team that does certain things, but at the end of the day, the company is Chinese and they report to the Chinese Communist Party. So if you're giving your social security number, passport, all of that to TikTok, who has that beyond just TikTok Australia, if there is a thing, or TikTok US, or even a TikTok company in China? I'm almost 100% certain that the Chinese Communist Party would have access to that information. And do you want China to have your passport info? Do you want that to happen? I don't think that you do, But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How you feel about this plan over in China, Australia, to have no more anonymity on social media? I understand the argument, well, some of these trolls need to get held accountable. I mean, in the US, at least, we have freedom of speech. You may say things that are weird, that are strange, that are ridiculous, and that's your right to do so. But should you have your rights taken away because of that? Because I think you're saying something crazy, does that mean I want you to not have rights? No, not at all. You have the right to privacy, the right to freedom of speech. You have the right to all of that in the US, at least. How about Australia? Not really sure. Is there a Bill of Rights over there that gives you the right to free speech and Second Amendment? People take these things for granted over here in the States. And I think we need to look abroad at what rights people do have and what they don't have and appreciate what we have, because it's not really common. Look around the whole world, what we have over here. We got guns, freedom of speech. That's not really normal. And if we keep on playing and keep on being so nonchalant with it, these things will never be seen again. These rights will never be seen again for any country if we keep on playing. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.